Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about peri-workout carbohydrate. Peri-workout carbohydrate means pre and post-workout carbohydrate, where people are concerned about fasted cardio or fasted training in the morning because they haven't had breakfast that day. They needn't be, so long as that they've had carbohydrates in at least the meal that they last had or the 2 meals that they last had in the previous day. Because of the way body stores glycogen, it takes about 8 hours for digestion to occur and it to then be converted into glycogen. So if you were to prioritize carbohydrate consumption before your workout, then the 8 hours leading up to it would be the most important time to have had carbohydrate. After this, if you still want some performance benefit, then you can consider doing intra-workout carbs. So how do you know if you've had enough carbohydrates for your workout? People report that they experience feeling sick or tingling feeling or like lethargy towards the end of their workout, especially when their workouts are quite intense and they're lasting longer than about 1 hour. So particularly for weightlifting, you may not need carbohydrates if you're new to weightlifting, because you probably won't be pushing your body that much. But after about 3 to 4 months of really good intense training and practicing your technique, you'll probably be pushing yourself enough to warrant intra-workout carbs, and in which case you should aim for about 30 to 60 grams of carbohydrates. 30 grams for the smaller people among us to about the 50 kilo body weight, 60 grams for the larger people among us for about the 100 kilo body weight. Other considerations that you should take into account are if you're an aerobic athlete and not doing weightlifting, then you should be taking carbohydrates for every workout, as these will greatly improve your performance in your workouts, as long as the workouts are quite long, particularly above 30 minutes in duration. There are many ways to consume sugar or glucose during your workout. One would be sweets like Haribo, Jelly Babies, those kind of things. Sugary drinks, so like Lucozade Sport or Powerade. But probably the cheapest way you could do it would be to buy dextrose or glucose powder from MyProtein, and 1 scoop might only cost you about 30 or 40 pence. And each scoop is about 60 grams of sugar, so you just add that to your normal workout drink. You can add it into water and have sugary water, or you can add it to a squash drink, and there you have your intra-workout carbs. This can help stop low blood sugar during your workout and actually improve performance during your longer workouts once you've been training for a few months and you need a bit more of a energy boost to complete your workout. For team sports athletes, the same applies, particularly due to duration rather than intensity. If it's short and intense, so if it's only a 20-minute bout of effort like a HIIT workout or a CrossFit workout, consuming carbohydrates won't have a massive impact on your performance in the way that it will with a 60-minute or longer workout. So if you know you're going to be on the pitch for the entire game, then consider consuming intra-workout carbs. If you're only going to play the final 20 minutes, then perhaps it's not in your best interest to consume your carbs. Another important consideration you might make is if you're in a calorie deficit, you might think, well, I don't want these extra carbohydrates to bump up my calorie count for the day. But actually, if you look at the impacts that intra-workout carbs could have to your workout, the peri-workout timing for your carbohydrates might actually be more beneficial to your performance in that workout than having them spread across the day. Because they're going to have more of an acute effect on your workout performance than they would if you had spread them out. So in that instance where you should be performance focused because you want the muscle growth, you want the strength gains, carbohydrates for very close to your workout timing could be the way to go in a calorie deficit. The only way to know really is give it a try and see what works for you. You can adjust the dosage between the 30 and 60 grams and see how your performance improves. It is a bit objective, but I guarantee that if you try this, you'll notice a difference straight away, especially if you had a lot of carbohydrates absent from your diet particularly, you'll notice a increase in performance. Another consideration for carbohydrate consumption is clearly post-workout carbohydrate consumption, and actually there's evidence to suggest that carbohydrates are far more important to recovery post-workout than protein is, because of the way the muscles are more sensitive to converting carbohydrates into glycogen post-workout. This actually helps recovery. So in your post-workout meal, you could consider having a higher carbohydrate consumption, and actually during and just post-workout, 20 grams of protein would be about the right amount. So rather than an excessive amount of protein, you should look to have about 20 grams of protein, and carbohydrates, if you don't have them intra-workout with the 60 grams or up to 60 grams, you could have them post-workout instead.